Namaskaram, Bhagavad Gita, 8th chapter, 3rd sloka. In this sloka, Bhagavan starts explaining the words which he mentioned in the previous chapter. And in the first two slokas of this chapter, Arjuna asked the doubts. Arjuna requested Bhagavan to explain the terms Bhagavan used. So here in this sloka, in third sloka, Bhagavan explains the terms which are to be understood by Kaivalyarthi, those who aspire for Atma Anubhavam. So Bhagavan is explaining these words. So he starts with Brahma. The slogam goes like this: Aksharam Brahma Paramam. So he is explaining, it starts, he says, what is Brahman, what is Adhyatmam, and what is Karmam. So when he starts Brahman, he says, Aksharam Brahmam Paramam. So he is explaining now what is Brahman. Brahman is, it's an essential form of self which is separated from Prakriti. So that is why it is supreme. It is supreme Brahma. And it is not perishable. It is always there. That is why it is Akshara. Akshara Brahma. And why it is Paramam? That Muktatma attains some divine qualities of Bhagavan, the Kalyana Gunam of Bhagavan. So he is referred as Paramam, because as per this sloka, this Brahman doesn't mean Bhagavan here. The Brahman, the self, which gets relieved from birth and death, and which is referred as Muktatma, because Kaivalyarthi is aspiring for that. He wants to attain that Muktatma. So this Muktatma gets some divine qualities of Bhagavan, so it is referred as Paramam, and it is imperishable, so it is Aksharam. So it is referred as Aksharam. In this sloka we find Akshara Brahma Paramam. So it is essential form of self, and it is separated from Prakriti, and it is supreme. So that is why it is written as Brahman. So he is explaining the term Brahman. The next he explains Adhyatma. So what is Adhyatma? One's own material nature is Adhyatma. So here in this sloka we find it is referred as Svabhavam. Svabhavam means characteristics, Gunam. So here, because every Atma has got the body. So the body has got the Gunas. Body has got its own nature. So here Bhagavan says that Subhavam has to be left. So in this sloka he says what is to be attained and what is to be relinquished. So here he says Brahman, what should be attained. Brahman is to be attained. And Adhyatma, what should be relinquished. So what is Adhyatma here? It is Prakriti. So when you say Prakriti, it is body. And body is with the gunas, Subhavam. So all these have to be left out. So that is what Adhyatmam. So this Adhyatmam refers to Prakriti, body, Subhavam, gunas. So all have to, because when Atma leaves the body, the Atma travels with the Sukshma body, subtle. So it carries the gunas. So those gunas, so that's what Bhagavan says, that nature that has to be left. So what is not, in the previous chapter he mentioned what is to be followed and what is to be left out by the Kaivalyarthi, Aishwaryarthi and Bhagavalyaparthi. So those who are aspiring for wealth, those who are aspiring for Bhagavan, and those who are aspiring for the Atma, they should know what they should learn what is to be followed, what is to be left, what is not to be followed. So here he mentioned, he started with the notes for Kaivalyarti. So here we find how Kaivalyarti tries to know Muktatma. So that Muktatma, so in this process he is getting relieved from the cycle of birth and death. So that's why it is Aksharam Paramam Brahmam. And this Muktatma. Muktatma attains the some of the Bhagavan's qualities, divine qualities of Bhagavan. So it is Paramam. So Aksharam Paramam Brahma Paramam. This is what given, but this is how Bhagavan says in this sloka. Next, Swabhavam. Swabhavam is Adhyatma, the nature. That has to be left, because Adhyatmam is one's own material nature. So the body dwells with the self. It attaches itself to, body does, here we find body attaches itself to self in the form of subtle elements, impressions, that is karma vasana, subhavam, gunas. The gunas are carried over from birth to birth. So that is what referred here. So you find every Atma gets the body. So the body is with the gunas. So here the gunas have to be left. So that is what Bhagavan explains here. So Adhyatma should be relinquished, Brahman should be attained. Next he explains karma. Karma is the force which produces the origination of mundane beings, that is human beings. So here the karma, the activities which are related to the production or reproduction, we can say. So all these have to be removed. All these have to be left by Kaivalyarti. That is what he says. He should not enjoy all this. So, and what is to be added for him? He is explaining that in the next two slokas. So this human birth, that is referred as karma here. So each woman and man are responsible for the production of human beings. So that has to be left. So Atma should not enjoy these pleasures, because he is attaining the state of Muktatma. But Kaivalyarti is for the state of Atma only. He is not striving for getting into moksha. In moksha we find Bhagavan is there. Bhagavan, he resides there. He resides with his Pirati, and we find him in all forms, and he is there. The entire loka is glorified with his divine qualities. But Kaivalyarti is missing that. That is what referred by Bhagavan here. Why? Bhagavan is going on adding what should be known more for Kaivalyarti. So he says what are to be known by Kaivalyarti, what are to be known by Aishwaryarti. Then he said what are to be known by all the three categories of divisions of devotees. So the last one is, that is topmost one, is one who wants to be in the presence of Bhagavan, who is aspiring for moksha. So he wants us to elevate to that. So he refers that Kaivalya, don't be contented, don't stay in that position. You go for the upper, you elevate yourself, and you work, you strive for reaching moksha. So this is what he explains here. So these are the words, these are the terms explained for Kaivalyarti, what Kaivalyarti should know. So here he explained what is Brahman, what is karma, and what is Adhyatma. What should be attained and what should be relinquished. So what is karma? What are the activities? So how you should be away from all these activities. This Kaivalyarthi, he feels that he is away from the cycle of birth and death, and he is happy with that. But Bhagavan said, no, it is only liberation from birth and death. But he is not having that permanent, the eternal happiness. What is the most, the happiest state is reaching moksha, being in your moksha, in the midst of Bhagavan. And there are so many Nityasuris serving Bhagavan there. So you should be aiming, you should have a goal to reach moksha. So what are to be followed to attain that? That is what going to be explained by Bhagavan in the next slokas. So this sloka is for Kaivalyarthi. Alvars, when you take Alvars Pasurams, they are always for moksha. We don't find them asking for Kaivalyam, Aishwaryam, nothing. They want only to be in moksha. So all the Pasurams by Alvars, we find they show, the Pasurams explain how we should aim for it and what is to be done for that, and they explain the glory of Bhagavan. Why should you not aspire for Kaivalyam? Why should you not aspire for Aishwarya? Why only for moksha? Because these are not permanent, and when you are getting away from, relieved from birth and death, but you are the Kaivalyam, the Kaivalyarthi, they are happy with the state of without body. So they will be remaining in the form of Atma only. But that is not considered but good by Alvar. So they express that in many of the Pasurams. We find one of the Pasurams of Nammalvar. So this is from Thiruvaimudi. Here he says, Kandu ketutru moondu உண்டுழலும் ஐங்கருவி கண்ட இன்பம் தெரிவரிய அளவில்லா சிற்றின்பம் ஒன் துடியால் திருமகளும் நீயுமே நிலா நிற்ப கண்ட சதிர் கண்டொழிந்தேன் அடைந்தேன் உன் திருவடியே. So he talks about, he explains the pleasures we get from five senses: kandu, seeing, hearing, touching, smelling. So he is explaining that. He says, Perumale, oh God, I got all the senses, but I am giving up the pleasures I get from all this. I don't want all that. And he says, I don't want that Kaivalya. The Kaivalyam. Because we say that is being in the state of Atma is a pleasure, but I don't want that. So I am giving it up too. So I am giving up the pleasures we get from senses and the Kaivalyam, Atma Sukam. And I like to be seeing you with Virati, one who is wearing colorful bangles, and both of you are together, and you have shown me the way to realize you. So I am very happy about that you were so kind to show me the way to realize you. So I don't want these pleasures. I am giving up all these pleasures. That's why I've got the opportunity to reach your divine feet, your lotus feet. So this is what explained by Nammalvar in this sloka, this Pasuram. So these Pasurams make us contemplate on God and prepare a list what to do and what not to do. Then what is permanent pleasure and what is pleasure, and how what we feel, these are all pleasures on the earth. They do not bring anything. That is only temporary. So what is permanent is understood by reading these Pasurams, learning the meanings of these Pasurams. So let's follow the path shown by Alvars and reach moksha. That should be the goal, because we have taken this human form after so many births. So let us make it purposeful. Let us. Bhagavan is so kind. He is kind. He is kind to give us this human form. So let us make it purposeful and let's aspire for moksha and do that. That is what in this sloka also Bhagavan said. All the acts associated that should be considered by aspirants after release as calling for abstention. This abstention will also be inculcated immediately. So what all to be left should be left immediately, so that we are progressing in our path. Otherwise we get into the entanglement of wealth, the pleasures, the material gains. So let's come out of that and follow the path shown by Bhagavan, the scriptures and Alvars.